opponents. Total combined weight of 525 pounds, Jaheed and Nihad, the Turbinators. They're accompanied to the ring by the illustrious Perry James.
Because I know it's widely known throughout the world that people here in Johnson City are a little slow. I'm going to be as slow as possible while I tell you what I want you to do. And what I would like you to do is stand to your feet to show respect for our national anthem.
Again, this match is scheduled for one fall.
Look here, you bunch of camel jockeys. I got one thing to say. USA. USA. USA.
Fans, here we go with a one fall 45-minute time limit. Tag team action. It's the Turbinators with their manager Perry James taking on I would say two of Mark Curtis's best friends, Cody Michaels and White Lightning Tim Horner.
Absolutely. Cody Michaels is from the Dominic Nucci training camp as well, along with Shane Douglas, Mick Foley, and Brian are Mark Curtis. And of course, Tim Horner is no stranger to professional wrestling fans. White Lightning was Brad Armstrong's partner in WCW for many years. I remember Tim when he started with us, Southeastern Wrestling, back in the late 70s. And he's had a storied career. And the Turbinators are going to have their work cut out for him here tonight, Jim.
Well, whether you like or don't like the Turbinators, you got to say this, Les. They got a lot of guts in this time and day and age of world events, coming to the ring and proudly waving their flag from the Middle East, wanting to sing their national anthem to start the match tonight.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go to their country and try to lock in a stadium and sing the American national anthem. They probably get the same result. But what they're going to get here is, I would guess, a wrestling lesson from Cody and Timmy.
White Lightning with some fancy maneuvers on both the Turbinators. You decide to head for higher ground, and with manager Perry James, or they call it timeout, Les. That's one of the oldest cliches. There's no such thing, is there, as a timeout?
Not that I'm aware of. But like I said, I've been doing this 45 years, and I've never seen a timeout. But, of course, you know, it's good strategy sometimes. If your opponent's getting ahead of you, you get out of that ring, you can kill some time. You can, you know, kind of regroup mentally yourself and slow them down. Take their momentum away from them. So that's what the Turbinators are doing here.
Turbinators, well, they certainly have the advantage. They can shout instructions and code words to each other. Nobody else, including the referee, Scott Dickinson, is going to know what they're saying. There's a little bit of an arm twist by Tim Horner, really raking it in, cinching it in on one of the Turbinators. I believe, Les, that is Jaheed who is in there at the moment.
Okay, and the other one is named Dehad. Is that D-E-E-H-A-D? I don't know who named these guys, but I don't know how the. Okay, Jihad and Dehad and Jaheed, is that it? And this is Jaheed.
And Jaheed, well, there's a nice maneuver by Jaheed, but Tim Horner is able to reverse and goes for a quick cover. Got a count of 2 before Jaheed was able to kick out. Tag made Cody Michaels from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And again, that's the center of things when you think about Brian Hildebrand as Mark Curtis starting out his ring career in Pittsburgh. Mick Foley from Pittsburgh. Shane Douglas from Pittsburgh. And of course, the legend in your opposite number tonight in the big tag main event, Les, Dominic DiNucci from Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. And DiNucci turned out some great talent. There's no two ways about it. Douglas, his career. Foley, his career. What can you say about these two guys? They both have been at the top of the game. Douglas with the ECW World Champion. Mick is the WWE or WWF World Champion. And both men have worked. Currently, obviously, Shane is with TNA as a commentator and an agent backstage. So, yes, Dominic certainly has a lot to be proud of. And, as a trainer myself, you realize when you see your guys going someplace that your work has actually been phenomenal. Your time you put in, the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears that you donated to their careers has meant something. And of course, Dominic must be proud of these kids.
Let me ask you, the Turbinators day in and day out work together as a professional wrestling tag team. They don't wrestle, of course I know, in singles matches. White Lightning and Cody Michaels basically are singles performers joining forces tonight. How big of an advantage is that for the Turbinators?
It should be an advantage for the Terminators, obviously, because tag team wrestling has a whole different psychology to begin with. And the longer you wrestle with a partner, the more you kind of read each other's minds, And these guys shouldn't have to do a lot of talking. And where Michaels and Timmy are going to have to communicate, Cody may not know it's time to come in when, or set up something where Timmy might want it set up. So there is an obvious advantage, there's no doubt about it.
Turbinators in control as Tim Horner needs to make a tag. He's in the wrong corner at the moment. The Turbinators are able to exchange wrestlers, keep a fresh guy in. They're working over White Lightning and Tim Horner pretty good at the moment. There's a blow right to the small of the back, and Tim Horner gets taken down the hard way off the ropes. Spin move. That's really got a whiplash the neck, doesn't it, Les?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, that guy's got his body weight, 235, 40 pounds, coming across, and he's pulling at that neck, and it snaps back. There's got ligaments are stretching in there, believe me.
Tag made. The Turbinators with quick tags, fresh tags. There, the manager, Perry James, gets up on the ring apron to, no doubt, sidetrack the referee. We have a little double teaming action as the Turbinators, one working on the chin, the other working on the leg and the ankle area. And Tim Horner, he desperately needs to make it over to his corner leg.
Absolutely. And look here with Horner. Look where his feet are. Obviously, the referee doesn't see that because the hold would have to be broken. I was mentioning before, this is basically called the camel clutch. If Timmy's were on his knees here, there would be no, well, now he is. Okay, the feet are down off the rope. Now Scott Dickinson has caught the infraction, and they're calling for the break. But there had to be a lot of pressure on his lower back there, a lot of pressure.
Unfortunately, Horner spent several seconds in a prone position when the break should have been made. It never was. Another blow to the lower back region. That's got to work the disc area up a bit. Fresh man in for the Turbinators. You may not like their tactics, Les, but in terms of textbook tag team wrestling, these guys certainly have it down pat.
Absolutely. Well, here again, you mentioned it earlier, Chip. They have wrestled predominantly together as a team. So there is a definite advantage for that, and it's showing here.
Tim Horner's been in the ring now for several minutes. Let's make sure now the ref checks out sees this is not an illegal chokehold on Tim Horner. Cody Michaels trying to get some of the ring fans and ringside into the action to spur White Lightning Tim Horner on to make that tag. He's reaching out as Horner, but not quite there. That's got to be a terrible feeling, isn't it, Les, when you're so close to making that tag, but you're not quite there.
Absolutely, and of course here again, the Turbinator laying his weight in on Horner's back, making it much more difficult for Tim to pull his way to that corner. But as you can see now, Tim trying to inch his way to his feet. And if he can gain his balance and get to his feet, there's a much better chance of him making that tag to Cody Michaels.
Reaches over, gives an elbow in, a second one by Horner, but they're just a blatant hair pull, but a cover. And the Turbinators come close with a count of 2. Tag made. And I believe this is D-Hod who's back in the ring. D-Hod. And you called it before with that camel clutch, a hold made very famous by, I would think, a wrestler that these two guys probably idolized, the Iron Sheik.
Well, and even before the Iron Sheik, the original Sheik, who just passed away a few years ago. So yes, the hold, and legitimately, I have seen, when I was a kid in carnival wrestling, this was something, and when the old veterans would take on all comers, once you could get one of the locals in this, it was all over. I've seen guys, the whites of their eyes just roll right back in their head, because you're not only just working on the lower back, you're setting off circulation as well.
Tim Horner was able to pull free for a moment, but there the cover made, and a count of 2. D-Hod working over Tim Horner, who again has been in this ring for far too many minutes, needing to make a tag, but he's being pulled in the wrong direction. Here's double team, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, Les, but as long as, again, the referee doesn't get to that 5 count, that is legal, is it not, to double team like that? Absolutely.
Once the tag is made, they've got, the referee starts his count. They've got 5 until they've switched. And as long as they've done it within 4 3/4 or 4 5/8, they're totally within the legal limits and of the rules.
That's where an experienced tag team like the Turbinators are able to lend their air of expertise. Tim Horner just about out here on his feet. Here's just a leg and a foot right across the throat of White Lightning Tim Horner, a local favorite from Morristown, Tennessee, just about an hour or so from Johnson City. And again, Cody Michaels trying to exhort the fans at ringside to spur Tim Horner on to make that tag. He's now just being picked up by the ears and a bear hug, and they, every which way they can, trying to sap the strength of White Lightning Tim Horner.
They're concentrating on the lower back, obviously with the camel clutch we talked about, and here he's working. If you notice where the grip is, across the lower back. Yet, I don't think this is is smart in terms of this. There's not a huge size differential. A bear hug is something that you should use on a man much smaller than yourself. You've got a lot more control. So this may give Horner the opportunity to make that all-important tag that he, and you said it a couple minutes ago, Horner has been in that ring way, way too long.
Referee trying to, and he got the arm of Horner twice, but that third time to see if Horner was literally out on his feet, and Tim shows some signs of life, trying to rally, trying to get some strength together, trying to break this hold. There's a clap that everybody heard that broke the hold, but Horner, he may think he's in his corner, he's not though. Rake in the back, and once again, Tim Horner, he's just pouncing around, Les, in the wrong area.
Absolutely. Well, you know, what you mentioned, you heard the clap, and what you heard was the clap. What you didn't hear or didn't feel was the blade of Horner's forearms across the ears of the Turbinator, and that's why he broke the hold. And Horner coming up off that buckle, what blocks him, makes him head first. Now, Tim needs to make the tag. There's a right hand, another right hand. Timmy needs to make that tag, and he's pushing his way towards that corner to see if he can tag Michaels in.
Spin move, both men are down. Let's see who can get to their feet the quickest. Horner is about as close to his corner as he's been in quite some time. Cody Michaels acting as a cheerleader, trying to get Tim to turn around, reach over, make that tag, and bring the fresh man in. Meanwhile, for the Turbinators, They need to make a tag as well. Let's see if Horner finally can make this tag.
Absolutely, he needs to do it. And he may be a bit disoriented here. He should be facing the other corner. The tag is made by the Terminator. Horner between his legs. Maybe he'll get it here. There it is. Cody Michael hits the bricks. Let's see what he can do here.
Cody Michaels, right hands, a house of fire. Body slam 1, body slam 2. Both Turbinators hit the mat. And now it's Cody Michaels. As Tim Horner, we got all 4 men in the ring, and Scott Dickinson has his hands filled up.
Certainly does. It's basically, Horner and one of the Terminators go out to the outside. Dickinson concentrating now on the 2 legal men, which will be Cody Michaels and the man he is with in there. But now the manager, again, distracting the referee. And every match we've seen thus far has been that corner man who has made the difference, Chip.
And the manager doing that, Perry James, enabling now both, and you can see the ref's back is turned. Michaels takes to the corner turnbuckle, off it, flying cross body block. He has him covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the referee, he's arguing with the manager, and the Terminators are finally able to break what was a winning pin combination for Cody Michaels. That's really a crying shame, because Michaels and Horner won this match already.
Absolutely, yes, he had the man pinned, but again, the manager was instrumental in keeping them from winning the match. Well, here's the manager in Perry James and nails his own man with the flag.
There's poetic justice. Michaels gets the cover.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and thanks to Perry James, White Lightning, Tim Horner, and Cody Michaels are able to get the cover, get the victory. The Terminators are down. Your winners tonight, Cody Michaels and White Lightning, Tim Horner.